Hi guys, Chris here with Armattan Quads. Making a quick video to show you this guy here and how to install it. This is what we call the connector saver. It's basically a piece of high heat resistant rubber that we use to I guess allow some kind of flexing that would return to its original shape when mounting a short pigtail to a PDB like this. I've already made myself a short pigtail on this now. It's ready to go. About 2 millimeters of wires are sticking through. I've got those tinned very well. And I pre-tinned this a little bit, flight controller. And that's that. Now I need a little bit more tin on there. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Just want enough to be able to close the hole. You need a lot of heat for this. Now I'm almost closed there, but if I just hold it like this, should be able to, maybe not, there you go. Almost closed. That's good enough. That's ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and put the connector saver onto my pigtail. All the way in really nice and tightly. Now, I've had that on already because I put it on to measure my wires, and then I cut the wires, then I remove the connector, and then I tin the wires. As you can see here, the camera angle is not very good, is it? Sorry about that. As you can see here, I've barely got anything sticking past there now. And the reason for this is that I do not want to install that like this, just flush. I actually want to compress the rubber as I install this. So one good tip here would be to do this first. Do this before you install the PDB on your model, because from there you're going to have a hard time trying to put pressure on this to squeeze it in there. So if you do that first before you put on your PDB, it will work better for you, guaranteed. So let me go ahead and do this now. I've got my pigtail prepared. I inserted the little, I guess the connector saver. I pre-tinned the PDB with just about the right amount of solder I need on there. And I'm going to go ahead and put that on there. Make sure I get the polarity right. Okay. So then, let me make sure I'm in the camera angle as well here. Maybe I can zoom a little bit on this. Right about here. Okay. Just going to put that down there, and I want to tag it. So first, I don't put pressure too much, just a little bit to hold it in there until the solder comes loose. And then I'm going to push on that guy really hard. You can see my hand shaking. I'm using a lot of strength here. There you go. Let that settle. My thumb is getting very hot now. There we go. You may want to use gloves when you do that, or use a different method. Now look what it looks like. You can see that it's really compressed on one side, and on the other side, well, it hasn't been soldered yet, so it's kind of sticking sideways. So then I go ahead. I may wait a little bit. That to cool down a bit. Alright, and then I will repeat the process. Before I do, I make sure that my pigtail on the other side is lining up with the hole. In this case, I see that it's just a little bit off. I'm going to go because it's bent twice. It's bent now, right? So the wire is going to probably likely interfere with the outside of the hole. I'm just going to push that in a bit. Make sure it will line up nicely. There we go. And I go ahead and tag this side. As soon as the solder comes down, there you go. I felt it pop right through. And that's done. I let that cool down. My thumb is getting hot. And now this is what we got. You can see now I'm actually a little bit more in on the second side. So I'm going to go and do a little adjustment on there now. I'm going to reheat this guy now. Since I have a really good tag on this side now, I'm going to reheat this guy, make sure it's nicely heated, make sure enough solder goes right into the wire, nothing will come loose. Although you did see how much solder I applied on that in the first place, I would not recommend using too much more than that, just risking shorting stuff. Alright, so I'm going to, of course, get ready to apply pressure on this now, because as soon as I heat this up, the rubber will release and push the PDB up, so I'm going to push on that already, heat that up. There you go, it's flexing nicely. Let it cool down, don't move while it cools down, wear gloves. Don't like your thumbs feeling very hot. And that's it now. This thing is completely compressed on there now. Whoop, what am I doing with that? Completely compressed on there now. And it's good to go. And that's it. This is how you install the Armattan connector saver. Could actually get even more perfectionist with this. Now I can see it's tilted a little bit longer on this side, so I could heat it up a bit and push it down a little bit more. I'm close enough there. That's good enough. That works. Alright guys, thank you. Cheers.